You're about to make a $500, $1,000, maybe even a $3,000 mistake. You walk into the store or you open your browser and you're hit with a wall of acronyms. QLED, OLED, ULED, Mini LED. You see buzzwords like AI processor, quantum dots, and filmmaker mode, and all you want to know is, which TV is not going to be a piece of junk? Here's the truth they don't want you to know. The TV industry in 2025 is designed to confuse you. It's built on marketing hype, confusing specs, and brand names that are frankly lying to you. Some brands are just shadows of what they used to be, just a sticker on a cheap panel from a factory you've never heard of. Other brands are charging you a 40% premium for a logo, knowing you'll pay for the name. For the last 10 years, I've tested, reviewed, and lived with all of these. I've seen the good, the bad, and the ones that die 6 months after the warranty expires. Today, we are cutting through all of that noise. We are going to do a definitive ranking of the top 12 TV brands you need to know about for 2025. We're going from the absolute worst, the ones you must avoid at all costs, all the way to the undisputed best. Our ranking is based on the 4 things that actually matter. 1. Picture quality. Does it look good? This includes brightness, contrast, and color. 2. Reliability and build. Is it going to last, or is it a plasticky mess that will have dead pixels in a year? 3. The smart OS. Is the software fast and easy to use, or is it a slow, ad-filled nightmare? 4. The value. Are you getting what you paid for, or are you getting ripped off? By the end of this 30-minute guide, you will be an expert. You will save yourself money, frustration, and the horror of buyer's remorse. So grab a drink, settle in, we're starting at the absolute bottom of the barrel. And trust me, you are going to be shocked by who ends up in our top 3. Let's get started. This one hurts because some of you remember Toshiba. You might have had a Toshiba tube TV in the 90s that was a tank. That brand, the one known for quality Japanese engineering, is dead. It is a ghost. The Toshiba you see on the shelves today is what we call a licensed brand. A different company, in this case it's often the Chinese manufacturer Hisense or another company called Compal, pays to use the Toshiba name. They are literally just buying the brand recognition you have, your nostalgia, and slapping it on a budget, low-tier television. When you buy a Toshiba TV in 2025, you are not buying quality. You are rolling the dice. You are playing the panel lottery. These TVs are the absolute definition of built to a price. The internal processors are agonizingly slow. Trying to open Netflix or Hulu feels like you're dialing up on 56K modem. The build quality is a sea of cheap, creaky plastic. The speakers sound like a cell phone from 2005. And the picture quality? It's a mess. They'll put 4K UHD on the box, but the panel itself will have terrible brightness. You'll get what we call clouding or flashlighting, where the edges of the screen are weirdly brighter than the middle, especially in dark scenes. Here's the real kicker. These TVs often run the Amazon Fire TV platform, which we'll get to in a minute. But on this cheap hardware, the Fire TV experience is just painful. It's slow, it's laggy, and it crashes. The only reason to even look at a Toshiba is if it's a 32-inch screen for your garage that you got for $50. For your main living room? Absolutely not. It is the perfect example of a false economy. You'll save $100 now, but you will hate the TV for the entire time you own it, which, trust me, won't be very long. Avoid Toshiba. It's a trap. Now, hold on. I know what you're thinking. I have a Fire Stick and I like it. That's fine. The Fire Stick is a cheap way to make a dumb TV smart. But when we're talking about TVs that have the Fire TV platform built in, we have a different problem. This includes brands like Insignia, Best Buy's house brand, the Toshiba we just talked about, and even Amazon's own TVs, the Omni and 4 series. Here's the issue. The entire Fire TV platform is built with one goal: to sell you stuff. Your home screen is not a clean, simple menu of your apps. It is a billboard. It's an aggressive, cluttered, and slow-loading advertisement for Prime Video, for other services Amazon has a deal with, and for products on Amazon.com. You are paying hundreds of dollars for a television only to be served ads on the main interface you can't turn off. It's insulting. But let's talk about the hardware. Because Amazon wants this platform to be everywhere, they partner with the cheapest manufacturers. The Insignia Fire TVs are, just like Toshiba, bottom of the barrel. They have weak processors, dim panels, and terrible speakers. What about Amazon's own Omni QLED series? To be fair, they are better. They have decent picture quality for the price, and they get some good features. But they are still hobbled by that same slow ad-fill operating system. The processor inside just can't keep up with the demands of the bloated software, and you're left waiting for apps to load, dealing with crashes, and just feeling frustrated. The promise of Fire TV is a seamless, integrated experience. The reality is a slow, frustrating billboard that you permanently installed in your living room. There are better smart platforms, and there are much better TVs. And this is a tale of two very different things. On one hand, the Roku operating system is, in my opinion, the best, simplest, and most user-friendly smart platform on the planet. It's clean, it's fast, it's simple. My grandma can use it. It doesn't push one streaming service over another. It just shows you your apps. I love the Roku software. So why is it at number 10? Because the hardware that Roku TV is on is, for the most part, terrible. Just like with Fire TV, Roku's business model is to license its fantastic software to any manufacturer who wants it. And the manufacturers who want it are the ones competing in a race to the bottom. We're talking about brands like ON, Walmart's house brand, RCA, and other cheap TVs you've never heard of. These are the $200 Black Friday doorbuster specials, and let me tell you, they are cheap for a reason. They use the worst panels, the weakest processors, and the tiniest speakers known to man. They are designed to last just long enough for the warranty to expire. You'll buy a 55-inch Roku TV for $180, feel like a genius, and then 6 months later, you'll have a giant bar of dead pixels, or the Wi-Fi will just stop connecting. Now, this is getting better. Roku is now making its own TVs, the Roku Select and Plus series, which are actually pretty decent budget sets. And high-quality brands like TCL and Hisense do offer Roku TV versions of their best models. But the vast majority of Roku TVs out in the wild are the cheap ones. The brand's reputation is built on its amazing software running on disposable, landfill-bound hardware. If you buy a TCL Roku TV, you're buying a TCL. But if you just buy a Roku TV from a brand you don't recognize, you're playing a dangerous game. If you're in Asia or Europe, you see this brand everywhere. Xiaomi is famous for its flagship killer philosophy. They look at the most expensive products, like an iPhone or a high-end Samsung TV, and they build something that has 90% of the features for 50% of the price. On paper, Xiaomi TVs are an incredible deal. You'll see spec sheets that are just bonkers for the money. QLED, 144Hz refresh rates, Dolby Vision, HDR10+, all for a price that seems too good to be true. And sometimes it is. Xiaomi is a spec sheet warrior. They win the battle on the Amazon product page, but the real-world experience can be a bit inconsistent. Their biggest problem over the years has been software. While most of their TVs run on the Google TV platform, it's often a heavily skinned, slightly buggy version. You'll get amazing hardware, but you might find that the menu is a bit laggy, or that an update breaks the Wi-Fi, or that the motion handling during a fast-paced sports game just looks weird. They've gotten much better, but they still lack the polish of the top-tier brands. The other issue, at least for my North American viewers, is availability. You just can't easily buy their best models here. Xiaomi is a brand to watch. They are aggressive, they are innovative, and their value is undeniable. But for now, they are still a value brand that cuts corners on software polish and quality control to hit those amazing prices. If you're on a tight budget and you're a tech enthusiast who doesn't mind tinkering, they are a fascinating option. For everyone else, they're just a little too risky. This is another classic name, but just like Toshiba, the Philips brand is not one company. In North America, the brand is licensed by a company called Funai, and to be blunt, they are in the avoid category. The Philips TVs you see at a Walmart in the US are cheap, low quality, and not worth your time. So why are they at number 8? Because in Europe and many other parts of the world, the Philips brand is licensed by a different company, TP Vision, and these TVs are fantastic. They are innovative, they are premium, and they have one of the coolest features in the entire TV industry, Ambilight. Show B-roll of Ambilight in action. Ambilight is a set of LED lights on the back of the TV that projects colors onto the wall behind it, matching what's on the screen. It sounds like a gimmick, but I'm telling you, it is not. It makes the screen feel bigger, it reduces eye strain in a dark room, and it is incredibly immersive. Once you use it, it's hard to go back. The European Philips TVs also have great picture quality, including high-end OLED models with excellent processing. So, this ranking is a split decision. If you are in North America, move Philips down to number 12 with Toshiba. It's a licensed brand to avoid. If you are in Europe, you can move Philips way up the list, into the top 5 or 6, as a serious competitor to the big guys. Because of that massive inconsistency, and because they're basically two different companies, Philips lands here at a confusing number 8. Vizio built its entire company on a simple idea: deliver premium features at a mid-range price. While Sony and Samsung were charging a fortune, Vizio was giving you full-array local dimming and quantum dots for hundreds of dollars less. Their M-Series and P-Series TVs were, and still are, hardware powerhouses for the money. You can get a Vizio P-Series Quantum X that, from a pure panel perspective, competes with a Samsung that costs $500 more. The brightness is there, the colors pop, and the contrast is great. So why are they only at number 7? Why aren't they higher? One word: SmartCast. SmartCast is Vizio's in-house smart TV platform, and it is, to put it kindly, a disaster. It is one of the slowest, buggiest, and most frustrating smart TV experiences you can have in 2025. It's slow to boot up. Apps crash constantly. The whole interface just feels like it's wading through mud. Vizio has this amazing high-performance hardware that is being strangled by its own terrible software. It's a running joke in the TV review community. The first piece of advice for any new Vizio owner is to go out and buy a $50 Roku or Google TV streaming stick and plug it in. You are literally buying a separate product just to make your brand new TV usable. I have so much respect for Vizio's hardware engineering. They really push the boundaries of value. But in 2025, the Smart TV OS is not an optional feature. It is the core of the TV experience, and Vizio's OS is just not good enough. If you are a tech-savvy user who knows you're going to use an Apple TV 4K or an NVIDIA Shield, you can get a phenomenal display for a great price. But if you just want your TV to work out of the box, Vizio is a frustrating experience. Panasonic is to movie accuracy what Sony is to processing. For decades, Panasonic's entire philosophy has been to deliver a picture that is exactly as the director intended. No flashy, oversaturated colors, no weird artificial sharpening, just a pure, clean, and perfectly accurate image. Their high-end OLED TVs are, to this day, used as client monitors in Hollywood production studios. That means when a director is approving the final color for a billion-dollar blockbuster, they are often looking at a Panasonic screen. Their build quality is legendary. They are built like tanks. Their engineering is meticulous. So why on earth are they only at number 6? Because for 90% of my audience, this is a brand you can't even buy. Years ago, Panasonic made the heartbreaking decision to pull out of the North American TV market. They just couldn't compete with the marketing budgets of Samsung and LG and the low-cost onslaught from TCL and Hisense. So today, Panasonic TVs are primarily sold in Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world. And if you live there, you should consider Panasonic to be in the top 3, easily. It is a premium, no-compromise brand for people who truly care about picture quality. But for this list, which has to account for the global market, they have to take a hit. It doesn't matter how good your TV is if people can't buy it. Panasonic is the connoisseur's choice. It's the best TV brand you probably can't get, and that's a shame. If you're wondering who is eating Vizio's lunch, it's this brand. Hisense has been unbelievably aggressive, pumping out TVs with features that just a couple of years ago were reserved for premium-only models. Hisense is the brand that is all in on Mini LED technology. This is a new type of backlight that uses thousands of tiny LEDs for more precise brightness control. This means you get incredibly bright highlights and deep black levels that get close to OLED for a fraction of the price. Their U-series, especially the U7 and U8 models, are the darlings of the tech review world. You get a super bright screen that's perfect for a bright living room, you get a high 144 Hz refresh rate, which is amazing for gaming, and you get the excellent Google TV Smart Platform. For the money, a Hisense U8 series TV is one of the most impressive pieces of tech you can buy. So, what's the catch? Why aren't they number one? Two things: quality control and motion. Hisense is still a value brand. They make so many TVs so fast that their quality control can be a bit of a lottery. You might get a perfect panel, or you might get one with some dirty screen effect or uniformity issues. The other bigger issue is processing. Hisense hardware is A+, but their software processing is a B. When it comes to handling fast-moving objects, like a football or a baseball, you'll see a bit more blur or artifacting than you would on a premium Sony or Samsung. They are so close, but that last 10% of polish is what separates them from the top tier. But make no mistake, Hisense is a serious threat. For 9 out of 10 people, a Hisense U-series TV is probably all the TV they will ever need, and they'll save a ton of money. TCL, which stands for The Creative Life, has been on a tear. For a while, they were known as that cheap Roku TV brand, but then they released their 6 series, and the entire industry was put on notice. TCL, like Hisense, is all in on high-performance, low-cost Mini LED. Their current QM series of TVs, especially the QM8, is an absolute beast. We're talking blindingly bright, with thousands of dimming zones, incredible contrast, and a fantastic Google TV interface. So why do I put TCL just ahead of Hisense? It comes down to two things: reliability and processing. In my experience, and in the long-term reliability reports I've seen, TCLs just seem to be a little more consistent. Their quality control feels a step better than Hisense. You have less of a chance of getting a bad panel out of the box. And second, their image processing, especially on their top-end models, is just a little bit more refined. Motion looks a tiny bit smoother, and upscaling of old 1080p content looks a little bit cleaner. It is a photo finish between these two. Hisense is often the spec sheet winner, promising slightly more brightness or more zones. TCL is the real-world winner, delivering a more polished and reliable final product. In 2025, if you want the absolute best bang for your buck and you don't want to spend more than $1,500, your search should start and end with the high-end models from TCL. They have truly bridged the gap between budget and premium. If I had to describe Sony in one word, it would be processing. Sony makes everything. They make the cameras that film the movies, they own the studios that produce the movies, and they make the TVs that you watch the movies on. They have an end-to-end understanding of the creative process, and it shows. While other brands are in a race for specs, brighter, thinner, more zones, Sony is in a race for realism. Their Cognitive Processor XR is not just marketing hype. It is, flat out, the best image processor on the market. What does that mean? It means Sony's TVs have the best motion handling. A fast-paced action scene looks smooth, clear, and natural, with no soap opera effect. It means they have the best upscaling. An old 1080p Blu-ray or even a 720p cable box feed will look sharper and cleaner on a Sony than on any other brand. And their color science is second to none. They deliver that as the director intended look, but for a global market. Skin tones look like skin, not waxy or oversaturated. So, if they are so good, why are they only number 3? 2 reasons: the Sony tax and the Sony stumble. The Sony tax is simple. Sony is expensive. You will always pay a 20–30% premium for a Sony TV with the same panel and features as a competitor. You are paying for that processor and for the name on the front. The Sony stumble is what I call their weird habit of tripping at the finish line. For example, for years, their gaming features were a mess. While LG was putting 4 high-bandwidth HDMI 2.1 ports on their TVs, Sony, the company that makes the PlayStation 5, was shipping TVs with only 2, and one of them was the audio return channel. It was madness. They've fixed most of that now. Their 2025 lineup is brilliant. From their high-end mini LEDs to their stunning QD OLEDs, a Sony TV is a masterpiece. It's just a masterpiece you have to pay a serious premium for. Samsung's dominance is not an accident. They are a marketing juggernaut, and they make a fantastic, diverse, and innovative lineup of TVs. Samsung is the brand that took quantum dots and made QLED a household name. Their QLED TVs are known for 2 things: incredible brightness and vibrant, punchy colors. If you have a living room with a ton of windows and daylight, a high-end Samsung QLED will cut through that glare like a knife. They are also innovators. They invented the frame TV, which started the entire lifestyle TV category. Their S95 series of QD OLED TVs, which combines quantum dots with an OLED panel, is a direct shot at LG and Sony, and the picture quality is breathtaking. Their Tizen Smart TV platform is fast, responsive, and has every app you could ever want. And for gamers, their Game Hub and feature set are top of the line. They have a TV for every person at every price point, from budget models all the way up to $100,000 micro LED walls. They are the Apple of the TV world. It's a safe, reliable, and premium ecosystem. So, why aren't they number 1? One giant, arrogant, frustrating reason: no Dolby Vision. I won't get too technical, but Dolby Vision is a premium HDR format that contains a little bit of extra data, scene by scene, to tell the TV exactly how to display the picture. It's the preferred format for Netflix, Disney+, and most Hollywood studios. Samsung refuses to pay the licensing fee for it. Instead, they push their own format, HDR10+, which has almost no support. This means when you watch a Dolby Vision movie on a $4,000 Samsung TV, you are not getting the best possible picture. You are getting the standard, base-level HDR. And on a $4,000 TV, that is unacceptable. It is an anti-consumer choice, period. And it is the one fatal flaw that keeps the king from its crown. Here's why. LG checks every single box. First, and most importantly, OLED. LG invented the modern OLED TV. They are the company that manufactures almost all of the large OLED panels that other brands, including Sony and Panasonic, have to buy from them. They are the masters of the technology. And OLED technology delivers a picture that QLED and Mini LED just cannot touch. Because each pixel makes its own light, you can turn them off individually. This gives you perfect, inky, infinite black levels. The contrast is mind-blowing. A movie in a dark room on an LG OLED is a religious experience. Second, features. LG doesn't stumble. They listen to their customers. Gamers wanted high-bandwidth ports for their new consoles. LG said, how about 4 of them, and made 4x HDMI 2.1 standard on their C-Series and G-Series TVs. Sony and Samsung fumbled. LG delivered. Third, the platform. Their WebOS smart platform is brilliant. It's clean, it's fast, it's intuitive, and it features the Magic Remote, which uses a motion-controlled cursor that makes typing in passwords 100 times easier. It's a joy to use. And fourth, no stupid fights. Remember Samsung's fatal flaw? LG doesn't have it. Of course they support Dolby Vision. They support every HDR format. They don't care about platform wars. They just want you to have the best possible picture. From the C-Series, which is the people's champion and the best high-end TV for the money, to the G-Series, which is a stunning gallery TV that sits flush on your wall, LG's lineup is focused, premium, and flawless. They are the pioneers, they are the masters, and in 2025, they are the undisputed number 1. Whew, we made it! 12 brands ranked from worst to best. So let's recap. What did we learn? First, we learned to avoid the ghost brands. Brands like Toshiba and the North American versions of Philips are just traps designed to trick you with a name you trust. We learned that the platform TVs like Amazon Fire TV and Roku TV are a mixed bag. The software is either an ad-filled mess, Amazon, or a great platform stuck on cheap, disposable hardware. We learned that the value kings, Hisense and TCL, are the real deal. They are the best choice for 90% of people, with TCL getting the slight edge in 2025 for reliability and polish. And we learned that the premium big three are all about trade-offs. You buy Sony for its god-tier processing and movie accuracy, if you can afford the Sony tax. You buy Samsung for its world-beating brightness and lifestyle designs, if you can live with their arrogant refusal to support Dolby Vision. And you buy LG for, well, for everything. It's the king, the best picture, the best features, and the best all-around experience. My final piece of advice is this. Your TV is one of the most used items in your home. You will look at it for thousands of hours over the next 5 to 10 years. Don't cheap out. This doesn't mean you need to buy the most expensive one. It means you should buy the best TV you can afford from our top 5. Saving $200 on a TV you end up hating is not a deal. If this video helped you, if it saved you from making a costly mistake, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's free and it helps us make more guides just like this. And now I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below. What brand is in your living room right now? Do you agree with my number 1? Did I get it right? Thanks for watching. Now go buy a TV with confidence. I'll see you in the next one.